Hey guys, Effie here. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card using our Wild Cherry Blossoms and Vogue Sky set. So first I'm going to start off by stamping some cherry blossoms in our Valentine red dye ink, and I'm going to stamp some additional cherry blossoms in our Coral Cavern ink, and I'm just going to stamp them around the ones that are already stamped in our Valentine red. And next I'm going to stamp some additional cherry blossoms in our Peach Blossom dye ink, and I'm going to stamp these kind of overlapping some of the other cherry blossoms, and it's okay because it's a lighter hue than the Coral Cavern and Valentine red. So after I stamped all the cherry blossoms, I'm going to go ahead and make about 2 masks for each cherry blossom. And what I've done is I've literally just stamped them on some typing paper or printer paper, and I fussy cut them and put some temporary adhesive behind them. So after I created my mask, I'm going to apply them on all the cherry blossoms, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp the branches in our Found Topaz dye ink. You don't have to stamp the branch where it's coming out of every single cherry blossom, because the wild cherry blossom set comes with kind of an offshoot branch that you can stamp separately. Before I stamp the offshoot branches, I'm going to go ahead and stamp some leaves in our Everglade moss set. It's a nice deep green dye ink. So I'm going to stamp them around some of our cherry blossoms, and I'm also going to overlap some of the leaves on to the cherry blossoms to give it a more natural look, because I have the overlapping and some masked leaves as well. So if you're using the set, you might want to play around with masking and just overlapping. Also going to stamp some leaves off the edges so that it looks like some of the scenery is occurring or existing outside of the four corners of our existing card panel. Now I'm going to stamp the smaller offshoot branches, and I'm going to stamp them kind of under our side view or side facing cherry blossoms. I usually like to have those smaller side view facing cherry blossoms come up from the smaller branches, and I'm also going to stamp some leaves at the end of the offshoot branches as well. That's just my preference on, how I designed the set, but you can stamp it any way you want to. That's the whole point of the wild cherry blossoms. You can mix and match with whatever combination you feel like. Next, I'm just going to stamp the stamens in our dark roast dye ink. It's a dark brown dye ink, and it's really, really great for stamping the stamens, because usually when I see pictures of cherry blossoms, the stamens usually look dark brown or like a dark red, and I didn't want to use another red because we have some red cherry blossoms here. So after I finish stamping the stamens, I'm going to stamp the skyline from our Vogue Skies in our warm hazelnut dye ink, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment from our wild cherry blossom set in some Versamark ink, and then I'm going to rose gold heat emboss it. Before you heat emboss, you probably want to use an anti-static powder tool. Next, I'm going to trim the top and bottom edges of my card panel about 1/2 inch on each side. So now it measures 4 by 5.5. So now I'm just going to take some burnished rose gold foil tape and apply it to the top and bottom edges of a top folding A2 size card base, and then trim off the excess. And then I'm going to adhere my stamp panel onto my base, and this is going to almost complete the card. After this, I'm just going to apply some smoked citrine sequins in several sizes, and I'm going to apply it around my sentiment in a visual triangle. My card is now complete. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I enjoyed stamping a custom cherry blossom scene using our wild cherry blossoms. The beauty of our wild cherry blossom set is that you can mix and match the different elements from a cherry blossom tree and be able to create your own custom scene. So I really love doing that by just inking up the different stamps that come within the set. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I'll see you next time.